Today we're going to talk about making sure your bosses know. What am I talking about? Find out in a second. There are going to be situations that happen in your student ministry program that you're probably going to need some help with. And you're probably going to need to let your bosses know what happens. It's not everything that happens, but there are going to be things that happen that you probably should let your bosses know. The reality is this past weekend, our student ministry program went on a weekend retreat, and I made a mistake. And not just one mistake, but two mistakes centered around letting our bosses know what was happening. Now, the situations were handled good and appropriately, but the big deal was that we did not tell our bosses what was happening. And as the main senior leader of our student ministry, I was ultimately responsible for relaying what was happening to my bosses so that they would know. Now, why do you need to tell your bosses what is happening? There are three reasons why I believe you need to tell your bosses what is happening. The first reason is so that they can help you process through what is happening. Now, there are going to be some minor things that happen, and there are going to be some major things that happen in the course of your student ministry career. It's those major things that happen that you're going to need wise counsel. And when you go to your bosses, 9 times out of 10, they're going to know what to do because they've experienced it before. So when you have a situation that comes about, you need to let your bosses know why, because they can give you wisdom and help you process through what is happening. The second reason why you need to talk to your bosses and let them know what's going on is so that they can help you with legal knowledge. Now, there are going to be some minor things that happen, and there are going to be some major things that could possibly happen. I hope and pray that you don't have a major thing that happens in your student ministry career. However, when those major things happen, there are often some legal ramifications there. And if you don't tell your bosses what is happening, then they can't help you with the legal process, because if you don't share certain information, you're legally required to share it. And if you hold it in, not only are you liable, but your church is liable, and you can bring down your church by not sharing really important information. So if there's ever an, should I say something or should I not say something to my boss? Definitely say something to your boss, because there could be legal ramifications and you have to tell them. The third thing is that you give them a heads up. Again, it could be a minor thing, but it could be a very major thing. If they don't find out from you, then when they do find out from a third party or somebody else randomly, they're going to be a little upset that you didn't trust them and share with them the information that they needed to know, because then they can't have your back. If you give them all the information, as minor or as major as it may be, they're able to have your back and take care of you, so that when someone questions them, they know all the information and they can respond appropriately. Now, here's the ultimate question though. How do you know what to share and what not to share with your bosses? Well, the easy answer to that is to talk with them. Talk with them about what is appropriate for you to be sharing and what don't they need to know. The only way you're going to know what to share and what not to share with your bosses is really to have that conversation with them. So if you've never had a conversation with them, sit down with them tomorrow and say, what is it that you want me to share with you when this happens or when that happens? Let's go through it together, because then the two of you guys working together on it, there's going to be no miscommunication, no misunderstanding, and you guys are all going to be able to work through it together appropriately. All right, so those are the three reasons why I believe you need to make your bosses aware of everything that's happening, as minor or major as it is, especially on a retreat or a weekend that you go on with kids. But I would love to hear from you about what you think is appropriate. What steps have you taken to make sure your bosses know? What conversations have you had? Hey, share them with me at TA Pounder or at YM Sidekick. That's all on Twitter. And let me know what's happening or what you guys have done to make that happen. All right, everyone. Well, I hope you guys stay with me all, week long, every week at ymsidekick.com. I've got some blogs, I got some videos, and I got some podcasts for you to be learning about online and student ministry stuff. Check out ymsidekick.com right now. All right, everyone. Until next time, I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Peace.